Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Shuttlecast. My name is Sal.
I'm Nathan.
And we got a lot to talk about, and I want to do it in an efficient amount of time today.
Ooh, okay.
My shoulder hurts like an MFer. And so if I start wincing or go, ooh, or fuck, that's why. It's because I'm
attacking you.
It's because I'm dying.
Yeah.
So a fun thing today, for the people at home who are viewing, you are going to be able to watch me live make the thumbnail. I found out how to do it.
Hey, that's right. I remember you saying you wanted to do that. That's fucking dope.
Yeah, I did it, and I was waiting for you. So I'm happy your Discord was being stupid. Because it gave me time to figure things out. So I'm not the best Photoshopper. I literally just have a PhD in making YouTube thumbnails, and that's about it. I'm not like good at this.
Hey man, that's all you need.
This is more for visual stimuli if you want it.
Yeah. It's nice to see the thought process that goes into it.
Exactly. So let's see. Talk again, real quick. Say a word or two. Maybe even three.
A word or two.
Okay, cool. So it is showing that you are saying things on my Streamlabs. So
yay!
I swear to God,
I'm not a ghost.
I'm not a ghost this time. So we're here.
Hey.
We got some stuff to talk about. We got some. Oh man.
Is there news?
I mean, there's a lot to decipher. I might not be as short as I want it to be, even though I hope it is. But that's okay. So, did you happen to catch Joker Folie Deux?
No, I have not.
Okay.
I do still want to, despite everyone apparently shitting on it. But
yes,
yeah.
So this is funny to me. So I went and I saw Joker 2, to Folie Deux, which is funny because I feel like Joker Folie Deux is just Kamen Rider Double. The one person who gets my joke. The Kamen Rider in Double, it's the one of those name is Joker, and there's two people in one. It's funny. It's a good bit. So I saw Joker Folie Deux, and I'm gonna say I liked it, which I feel like everyone just gasped.
Yeah.
How dare I? And I understand why you might think that. I get it. Here's the thing about this movie is that it's not a perfect movie at all. It's not the best movie of the year by a long shot. But it is an interesting movie, and it is trying to say some interesting things. So it's the end of a duology. They're not going to make a 3. This is it. This is the last Joker baby. We don't got another one in the pipeline. So the whole thing's kind of about like Arthur coming to terms with who he is as a person. Like, is he Arthur Fleck or is he the Joker? And he actually, essentially the movie, like the second half of the movie is him on trial for the murders he did in the first movie. And I did appreciate how this was like half a natural courthouse movie. I feel like we don't get a lot of those nowadays. So I like that. I know some people were shitting on it. I liked it. And, the first half season, like the psych ward, and he meets Harley Quinn. And, there is singing throughout the whole movie. And I feel like some of that was great. There was a lot of musical moments where it was like his psyche, like struggling with what he's dealing with, portrayed in the music, like in his mental like show, like talk show and musical act in his head. So a lot of the movie was some numbers were done that way, and it was really well done. I will say the movie's biggest issue is probably for me pacing. and an inability to want to dig too deeply into what it's saying. I think it sets up a lot of good questions and a lot of interesting things it wants to tackle, but then kind of does not do that. And it also feels like the movie ran for too long. There's some stuff that kind of runs, especially there's certain musical numbers where it's like, I kind of get it. And it's not like it's like, Greatest Showman or any other musical where it's like, it's an original song portraying what's happening in the plot. Like, he's singing and Harley are singing like, already written songs.
Oh, so it's like jukebox musical.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, in a musical, it's like, okay, I want to hear the whole song because we're really going into like what the characters are feeling, what they're thinking, what they're saying to each other. But this is like, most of the singing is like in Arthur's head, and when it's not in his head, everyone's kind of like, what the fuck's wrong with this guy?
Yeah.
So some of that could have been cut down, I think. I think you could have like honed in on some of the bigger questions you wanted to ask. And the movie is essentially, I feel like it's funny because I'm seeing a lot of talk online of people like not getting, the director Todd Phillips said that like Arthur Fleck was never Joker, he was always Arthur Fleck, and people are like, but it's called Joker. And I feel like they're not like wanting to engage with what the movie is saying, which is feels weird because it's not like it's that deep in the first place. It's fucking Joker too.
Yeah.
It was fine. It wasn't this. It's not the worst movie ever, like people are trying to tell you. Just because it's rated lower than Madam Web and is doing worse financially than Morbius does not equal it's just an awful movie. I think people are like, I definitely have problems with it. I think I see what it wanted to do. I think I put this pretty close under Megalopolis, actually. It feels kind of similar to Megalopolis. Honestly, where it's like, I see what you wanted to do with this movie. Unfortunately, I don't think you quite got there.
I think I saw an article where Francis Ford Coppola was like, "Oh yeah, Joker Folie à Deux was great," and it's like, of course, man.
Yeah, I rated them.
You guys got to stick together.
The Megajoculus. I rated them I rated them both 3 stars, and they are literally movie 20 and 29 on my ranking for the year.
Wow.
So, and they feel similar. Where I feel like Megalopolis is, I think, better because it's Francis Ford Coppola.
Are you saying that Todd Phillips isn't as good a director as Francis Ford Coppola?
I'll say that's a safe yes.
Wow.
But sorry, I'm hydration station over here. But yeah, it's not awful. It's not as good as the first movie. It's less solid. But also it's like it's an interesting film because it's trying to honestly deconstruct like who the Joker is and what he is to Arthur. Like it's less about like, it's not like it's pretty bittersweet, and I actually love the ending. People did not like the ending. I thought it was like pretty fitting for Arthur that's how he goes out. I loved it. I was sitting in the theater like, oh shit, like the destination's fantastic. Thank you so much. And the journey was a bit rocky though to get there. I see what they wanted to do. I see the character deconstruction that they wanted to do. I enjoyed all the performances. It's always great seeing Joaquin in the full Joker outfit and demeanor. Yeah. It's so striking. Like, it's a really good design and presence. Like, he becomes like a whole different person. It's really good. Like, that's fun. So yeah, it's just like it's a fine movie with some flaws, but also some like really good stuff in it. It's I think people don't like to, I kind of mentioned this in my letterbox, so I remember to say it later on here, but like I think there's such a negative reaction to this movie. I think it's because people see like an okay movie and they don't know how to like decipher that it's just okay. They just don't like some parts of it, so it's just bad and it's the worst movie ever made. When it's like, no, it's not, obviously. Like, if you have a fucking critical brain, it's not the worst movie ever made. Because like,
sure.
everyone's giving good performances. It's very well shot. It's well edited for the most part. There's, again, you could trim it, obviously. But there's no errors. I feel like people just like see like, that wasn't like great. And it's also kind of like depressing. Like, it's not a very fun movie. Everyone's trying to like emotionally and manipulate Arthur for their own means. Because it's like, in this reality, like the Joker trial was like the first live televised trial. So like they're kind of doing a thing where like everyone's picking apart everything, and it's a very antagonistic movie against Arthur. It's like, it's really like breaking him down, and it's not a fun Hollywood superhero time. It's like hey, everyone thinks this guy is this, and he like wants to think he's that, but he's not. Like, he's not the idol everyone thinks he is. Everyone has an imagined version of Joker in their head, and Arthur has that too, but he realizes he's not that, and has to come to grips with accepting that he's not that like persona he puts on.
Well, see, that's so funny because I know a little bit of what happens in Joker 2. I haven't seen it. I still need to, but from what I've heard, it does weirdly sound like the Joker duology kind of follows the same like progression as the Hangover trilogy, where by the end of it, where like the third Hangover is entirely just, you realize it's fucked up that we do shit like this, right? And it's like, oh god. Like, Hangover 3 is also very not fun, and that's why like I didn't hear anyone talk about it. I remember people being like, Hangover 2 was like it wasn't as fun as the first one, but it was okay. And then Hangover 3 came out and no one talked about it. So
I'll have to watch them, honestly.
I know. I want to show you guys because again, it's very like it is so weirdly indicative of the direction that Todd Phillips is going in towards Joker. Yeah. So, it's just I feel like he feels this need to create something and then continue it on and deconstruct it along the way, and I think that I think inevitably you lose people like that because I'm not the biggest advocate for deconstructions, but they're not worthless. If they feel like they got something to say.
Yeah, and it's fun because like Arthur's not like a good person, really. I mean, like, he has good qualities, as all people do, but like, at the end of the day, he is a villain. So it's kind of interesting to like tackle a duology where you're following a villain, and it's like, well, who can defeat the villain if there's no hero? Where it's like, well, their own self-doubt and their own like shakiness on their ideology. It's there's no like real antagonist. I mean, there's antagonistic forces, but I think this is a very interesting movie where it's like, I think people are very much used to a certain way you make a movie and how you tell a story, and I kind of admire that Joker 2 didn't do that. Is it perfect? Fuck no. It's got problems.
Sure.
But there's like, you see the nugget there and you're like, man, okay. Fun. Yeah. I would recommend it. It's interesting. I think going with an open mind and open heart, I think people hear, Joker 2 bad, and they walk in thinking Joker 2 will be bad, and then they leave and they go, wow, Joker 2 was so bad. Because you walk in like, it's like people who saw Rebel Moon and didn't like, and just wanted to shit on it, so they just shat on it and didn't like have a critical and open eye, and they just walked in like, I want to fucking don't like this movie, and then they didn't like it, and there's all these little like things that like you should be picking up on that they're just not, because they're too busy being like, oh wow, there's slow-mo, oh wow, Joker 2 has singing, and it's like, okay, but like, think about it for a second. Like, it's not, I'm not saying it's that deep of a movie, but like, people are saying stuff that I'm like, man, you really didn't think for a second during this movie, did you? Like, you really didn't like have a critical thought once in the entire 2 hour and 18-minute runtime.
Yeah. And to be fair, I heard that I heard good old Joaquin is not the best singer, so if there's a lot of it, I can see that getting old pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely not the best singer, but it's like the tragedy in Arthur's voice as he's singing.
Oh, I'm sure.
Is great. There is one singing part where he's by a phone singing on the phone where it goes on for a bit too long, and it's like he's kind of sad singing, and I'm like, all right, wrap it up.
Yeah,
but on the whole, it's you know it's fine. It's got flaws.
All right.
That is two. That is one of the 3 films that came out this weekend that I watched. I know. I saw multiple movies this weekend that came out. The second one I'm going to talk about, it was not in theaters, unfortunately, because it's a Netflix original movie. And it was a documentary.
Oh.
Interestingly enough. And it is called Will and Harper. And I should be writing down these movies so that when I'm doing the description later, I'm not like, what did we talk about?
Yeah.
There's some topics that don't make the thumbnail. Yeah, I saw a film called Will and Harper, and it is essentially, the movie is it's about Will Ferrell and his friend Harper Steele. And they were friends. They met on Saturday Night Live, and they, Steele wrote all of like a lot of Will Ferrell's jokes, and they had a good friendship and yada yada. And then over COVID lockdown, Will Ferrell gets an email from Steele being like, "Hey, my name is now Harper, and I'm a woman." And so it's essentially, and then Will's like, "Okay, well, let's figure that out together, because I don't really know any trans people." So Harper laments about the fact that now that she's a woman and transitioning to live as a woman, she can't really like enjoy the things she used to like to do, which was like traveling the country and like seeing people and going to bars and like sleeping in the car, and just like, because now that she's a woman, that's like a different experience. So they're like, okay, well, as you try to figure out, as you navigate the country, let's go on a road trip together, and we'll navigate the country, and we'll figure out what it means for you to be a woman and what this means for our friendship. And it's a really touching, interesting movie of showing like, someone transitioning way later in life, like Will Ferrell like has dinner with like Harper's kids, and they're like, he's like, "Hey, how is it feeling now that like your dad is now like a mom? Like, how does that affect you?" They go across the country, and then they go to some places, and like, how do people treat Harper now that she's like a woman? And like, they go to like Texas and stuff like that. They go to like bars. There's like Confederate flags and "Don't tread on me" flags. It's really like it's really emotionally moving and cool to see like a big actor like Will Ferrell be like, "Hey, this is my trans friend," and like stick up for her. And like, there's parts in the movie where he feels like he's not doing enough to help her and like stick up for her in certain situations. It's a good time. I mean, it's I feel like it's a really important movie that I feel like is kind of going to go under the radar because it's a Netflix documentary that's not very well advertised.
Yeah, it's the first time I'm hearing of it. So.
Exactly. But it's cool. It's cool that Will Ferrell did this. Basically, the whole movie being like, "Look at my friend. She's a woman now. And we're accepting her, and this is our journey together about what that means." Yeah, it's a good time. It's good that these kind of movies are happening, that celebrities are taking this stance, because I mean, I know at the end of the day, really, it's just their job to act and stuff, but they are in the spotlight, and it's nice that they're shining it on important issues like this.
Yeah, for sure, and I will say this is obviously different, but I'm more on the fence about that when it comes to like politics and stuff, because I tend to be like, I I like you because of your acting. I don't know what you know about the politics that you're bringing a spotlight to. So I don't trust it as like an informed figure. But obviously this is a different thing. I mean, I'm talking about like when they're endorsing candidates and shit like that.
Yeah, this feels way more sincere because the movie's basically Will Ferrell saying like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know. I want to have a deeper understanding of the situation. Which is great. It's like he's like coming in like chest bared, being like, okay, what the fuck's happening? How do we deal with this? I want to know more. It's also fun seeing their friendship now change a bit, with Harper not being like transgender. Which leads to some funny moments where Will Ferrell is like, so now that you're a woman, do you see that like you're a worse driver?
Got him.
It's just like it's like, see, I feel like there's like some comedians are like, you can't tell jokes nowadays, and then it's like, yeah, you can, just gotta be clever about it. Just gotta make a good joke.
It's true.
So yeah, go check it out on Netflix. I think it's like 2 hours. It was a good time. It was good stuff. I enjoyed it myself. Now the third film I saw that came out this week. I know, I saw 3. And you're like, only Joker came out. No, it didn't.
I'm like, yeah, what came out?
What else happened? I know. I'm on top of it, brother. I know what's going on in the world of cinema.
I guess so.
I'm a cinephile.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh God.
I saw a film called Look Back. This was an animated movie that had such limited showtimes. Like, my God, I had to see it Sunday at 8 p.m. Now, you know me. That's like the worst. I hate that.
Yeah, that's rough. That's past your bedtime.
That's past my bedtime. Seriously, that's like that is not okay, brother. But I saw it, and I gotta tell you, it messed me up.
Oh God.
It fucked me up so goddamn hard.
Oh no.
And I gotta say that I loved it. I thought it was such an absolutely incredible film. It's very short. It's like 58 minutes. It feels like an hour and a half long movie.
Oh God.
Like, it feels like you just watched a feature, even though like it wasn't, even though it was just like, it was like less than an hour. Like the story you go on and the emotions it takes you on is so heavy, and it's so much that you're like, man, I just went through a fucking gauntlet of emotions. Essentially the plot is it follows like 2 characters from like 3rd grade to like college age, like early 20s. I would say their names, but I butcher them. But because it was like it was an anime.
One of those. Those animos.
Listen, it takes me a while because I'm reading, and it's more like I know what the characters look like before I can get to their faces down, really.
Sure.
So it takes me like a bit. So if I'm watching like an anime show, I'm like, in like 30 episodes, I'm gonna remember your name. But like right now, I'm just like acclimating to what's happening. So it's about this girl, and she's in elementary school, and she draws like these like little silly 4-panel manga for like the student newspaper, and they're like pretty silly, and everyone like laughs them, and they say, oh, you're like the best manga artist ever, you're gonna grow up and be an amazing manga artist, like you have such a bright future ahead of you, this is so incredible. And then one day they're like, hey, there's this girl who goes to our school, but she's like a stay-at-home student, and she wants to like also draw for the newspaper. And, well, can you let her draw for the newspaper? And she's like, okay, fine, I guess so. And again, they're in third grade. And so the newspaper comes out, they are all looking at it, and the girl finally gets in, she looks, and it's like a 4-page panel like manga, but it has like the most incredible art, like way too good for a third grader.
Oh God.
But there's no characters. It's all just like scenery and backgrounds. I forget what story it tells, but it tells like a little story just by like the visuals.
Interesting.
And the girl's like, what? And the kid next to her is like, well, I guess you're not that good at manga after all. And so she spends the next 2 years like training her ass off to be a better manga artist. And it's a big montage, and eventually like she goes to school, she thinks she's really improved, and the girl puts out another manga for the newspaper, and then our main character just kind of says, I quit. Like, that's it. I can't compete with her, dude. Like, she literally stays all day at home, doesn't come to school. Of course she's better than me. I can't compete with that. Bye. The graduation's coming around, and then the teacher's like, hey, you were so nice letting her into the school newspaper. How about you go deliver her graduation paper to her? She's like, oh, fine. And then they finally meet, and you find out that the shut-in background artist girl is a huge fan of our main character. And wishes she was as good as her. And so they form this friendship where they start to like draw manga together, where our main girl draws the characters and the shut-in girl draws the backgrounds.
Hey.
And they go on a story together where they're each trying to like improve themselves for the other and doing things that like are kind of destructive sometimes, and it's really tragic at the end, because I don't want to get into the spoilers of it, because it's a really fucking good movie, and you should. I mean, it's probably out of theaters by now because it was in like theaters for like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
But when this comes out, like, I recommend everyone get a copy and watch this. Some of the things that are really great about it, I mean, the pacing, obviously, like, it's for a 58-minute movie. It has the pacing. It has perfect pacing. I mean, it did really feel like an hour and a half long movie, because like everything was so packed, and in like a good, elegant way. Not like in like it was too much. It was like enough to where I felt like I was seeing more than what I was seeing. It was really like the visuals were outstanding, the acting was amazing, and the story was so fucking good and inspiring and depressing and bittersweet. And one thing I love about it, that's the thing I really want to say for people to kind of like give you a reason to watch this movie. So our main character is like, later in their career, when they're like, high school age, and they're drawing manga and stuff together. Like, our main girl mainly draws like faces and characters and stuff, and she has her, the shut-in character draws the backgrounds. Throughout the whole movie, the backgrounds are like fucking exquisite, picturesque Ghibli backgrounds. But the characters are sometimes rough, sometimes ragged. Like, you could see where like the line art was drawn and like wasn't erased, and like the faces shift a bit, and you could see where like they were sketching things, and like, I mean, it looks amazing, but you could tell like they left in like I'd say imperfections.
Yeah. And
like I realized halfway through, I'm like, oh my god, that's like visual representations of each character. And like after like the main girl talks to the shut-in and finds out that like her rival for the last 3 years actually is her biggest fan, she's on her way home and it's raining, and like she's skipping in the rain, and this like one take shot following her. After it, of course, like drones in down from the sky and pans into her. And it's like the one shot of the movie where like even the backgrounds are drawn kind of in her like style, where they're not as detailed, because like her emotions have taken over everything. So where now it's even bleeding into like taking over the background. And it's this long shot of her skipping and like jumping and splashing water, and I'm watching it and I'm like, this is the most insane minute of animation Like, it's so good.
Yeah, that sounds pretty wild.
Yeah, and afterwards it was funny that there's like a director interview where they were like, "Yeah, you wouldn't normally do that, but we had to." Yeah, it was. I obviously don't want to like tell the whole story of the movie, but I think like if you're, I think this hits probably harder for artists because of like I think anyone can connect to it and like trying to better yourself for the person you love, even if it means like pushing them away. Even if it means like doing things that might not actually be beneficial, and what if you did things differently? There's a bit of looking back that happens in Look Back. It jumped to my number 3 movie of the year spot like immediately.
Damn.
It like catapulted. It's up there with Challengers and Dune. But
it's rarefied air.
It's an interesting trio of top movies in October. It's I can't wait to see where Nosferatu lands. But yeah, Look Back, man.
Oh shit. Speaking of Nosferatu.
Yeah, that get us out of here. That was the 3 movies that came out this week. You should go see Look Back. You should go see Willard Harper, and if you want to test yourself, go see Joker.
Yeah, for sure. So Nosferatu, did you realize that's coming out like this month?
No, it comes out in December.
No.
No, what the fuck are you talking about?
Well, you see...
Oh, what the fuck? No, hold on. What do you mean?
There is, in fact... let's see. Oh, yeah, let's see. On October 18th, 2024, there is a... what sounds like a shot-for-shot remake of Nosferatu coming to Apple TV Plus. Starring Doug Jones as Count Orlok, and it's by David Lee Fisher, who did this same kind of thing with The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
Wait, Doug Jones?
Well, no, the director.
No, but Doug Jones is in it.
Yeah, he's Count Orlok.
Because I'm trying to find this movie.
Yeah.
Upcoming. What the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah, dude. Shit, I spoiled it for myself because I was gonna watch that, and then on the next Shuttlecast, be like, "Hey, I watched Nosferatu."
What the fuck is this, man?
I know.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So
I have to find a way to get this image without because IMDb's stupid, right?
Oh no.
And it won't just let me grab it. I have to like snip the screen.
Yeah.
Christ.
That's a toughie.
Oh my god, what the fuck is happening? Okay.
So how lucky are we that we are blessed with 2 Nosferatus in 2024?
Jimmy, how do you get 2 Nosferatus? Look at this shit, man. This is amazing. Yeah. Stop yelling at me.
So I don't know if there's a trailer for it. You'd think because it's you know.
Oh, button.
Let me hold on. Nosferatu, Doug Jones.
Oh my gentle Christ.
Oh shit, there is. Okay, well I'll watch that later.
No, you shouldn't watch the trailer.
Oh shit, you're right.
You need to go in raw.
That's a good point. I mean, I've already seen Nosferatu.
He looks great.
So
I mean,
yeah, this is Doug Jones.
He looks outstanding. Look at this guy. This is technically part of his. I realize now that the people can't see my actual finite edits. They're just gonna see the finished product of what I'm doing. So I just keep zooming in and out of this picture of Doug Jones as Nosferatu.
Oh, good.
This guy looks fantastic. Oh my god. Okay, so we gotta hide him. Okay, he's kind of gotta be a bit obscured here. We gotta hide him behind Look Back.
Yeah, he's got to be creeping as he do.
Okay, so if we do this, yeah, and then okay, what the fuck? Okay, and then we just shh. It can never happen. It can never happen. This is funny as hell, man.
I know. I found out about it because I was looking at the OG Nosferatu and I was scrolling through the remakes. I know there's like some weird one in the 70s. But
what the hell,
yeah,
man.
So I stumbled across it and I saw Doug Jones and I was like, when the fuck was Doug Jones Nosferatu?
So okay, this comes out you could buy it right now on Amazon for $2.49.
Wait, shit, really?
Yeah.
Oh shit! All right.
So,
yeah, no, it came out in September on Amazon Prime. But it's just going to be streaming on Apple TV Plus. So if you happen to have Apple TV Plus, which no one does,
I only get it when there's a new season of Monarch. So the one time that happened.
Ah, shit. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
God, can I have a brief aside about Monarch for a second?
Go ahead, man.
I swear there's a through line here. I promise. So last night I watched Trick or Treat for the very first time.
It's been a hot minute since I've seen that, but I remember quite enjoying it.
And I watched the original animated short film. Season's Greetings.
Nerd. Oh, okay.
Yes. Oh, thank God someone just has a PNG of Sam from Trick or Treat. Thank God, less work for me.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, people watching at home, you only will see me struggle with a thumbnail when I can't find a good, like, oh, someone's already done this, thank God. Yeah, I've never seen Trick or Treat. I'm trying to go through a bunch of horror movies that I've never, like, watched before.
Nice.
So, like, Jennifer's Body, Trick or Treat. Rewatch some classics I haven't seen in a while, like VHS.
Yeah.
God, Nosferatu, Trick or Treat. Okay, and I thought it was pretty fun. I liked a lot of the way it was like 4 different short stories but interweaving with each other.
Yes,
was
absolutely.
Really cool. I liked how it was actually like supernatural at points and very funny. It was very ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely.
Principal Wilkins is amazing. That I wish he had lived so we could keep doing more dumb shenanigans. It was actually sad when he met his end. I was like, oh, come on. He could have like been a part of every story in a weird roundabout way.
That would have been really cool.
I mean, fucking funny. I liked it a lot. I thought when I was watching it, a weird thing happened, and I swear to God, this is my undiagnosed autism kicking into full gear. Where I was watching the movie, and I was watching the opening credits, which, by the way, thank God there was an opening title sequence. That was awesome. But I'm watching it, and I'm like, oh, Anna Paquin's in this. Sweet. I never see her in things. That's awesome. Yeah. And then I was like, Brian Cox? Whoa, 2 X-Men people in this movie. And then I was like, produced by Brian Fuller. That's weird, too. Or no, Bryan Singer. Bryan Singer produced.
Okay, I was gonna say Brian Fuller's tangential, but he's there.
And then I'm like, what the fuck? So after the movie, I was like, there's got to be something that happened here. Like I was already sniffing it.
Sure.
And I look and I'm like, oh, written and directed by the guy who worked on the script for X2 and X-Men Apocalypse.
Got him.
And also was the writer-director for Godzilla King of Monsters and a producer on Monarch. See it all tied together.
Hey, that was you know what? Good. Well done.
Thank you. Oh yes, I forgot there was a soundboard. Yeah. Michael Dougherty. Dougherty.
So not Simon Wright.
No.
I was gonna say it's too good.
He also wrote Superman Returns.
Which is better than people give it credit for. I'll say.
It's just funny how the Monsterverse right now is like led by Led by and produced by the person who made Trick or Treat, and then the person who made Gareth Edwards. Not Gareth Edwards. No, because he did the first one and he fucking dipped. Everyone after him was doing stuff though. Fuck, I forgot his name.
I love that for Gareth Edwards. I love that he just dips in and he's like, "Hey, here's my work. I'm an artist," and then just fucks off to other stuff. Like he could have his own franchise if he wanted, but he's just like, nah.
Adam Wingard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So two horror.
I'm not as fond of. But...
Yeah, no. I mean, it's funny. Adam Wingard has the filmography that is similar to Andy Muschietti. Where he did 2 pretty good movies and then 2 really bad movies.
What's his pretty good?
Which one? Wingard?
Yeah, Wingard.
Wingard, You're Next and The Guest.
Oh, okay, I haven't seen those.
Well, pretty good. And then Andy Muschietti came out with Mama and then It Chapter 1. And then he did... It's chapter 2.
I do need to revisit. I need to revisit the It duology.
I agree.
I actually just rewatched. I got to it the first in my watch through of Half in the Bag. I got to Red Letter Media's review of It Chapter 1, and boy, they didn't shit on it, but they pointed out some things that I was like, I don't remember this, because I don't think I've seen It Chapter 1 since It Chapter 2 came out. So
I will say I'm half and half on Red Letter Media. I always enjoy them, but sometimes I disagree, sometimes I agree in full.
I got so enraged that for the first time I had to comment on one of their videos because
and of course this is a video from like 18 years ago.
Exactly. It was for Thor Ragnarok. And fucking Jay was like, yeah, see, there was this thing in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 where they'd have like emotional or dramatic moments, and then they'd kind of ruin it and end it with a joke. And I'm glad this movie didn't do it as much. And I'm like, are you fucking brain dead? What the? You think that Thor Ragnarok didn't ruin its dramatic moments? Holy fuck!
Hey, I will say they are half in the bag.
They are half in the bag.
They're not fully sober.
Mike is riddled with dementia. It's someone made a great comment when they were doing the first Guardians of the Galaxy, and they were like, "You can tell that Mike actually cared because he remembers the character names." And I was like, "Oh my god!"
They are my favorite drunk Wisconsians. I love them so much. Milwaukeeans, Wisconsin. They're somewhere.
Shit, yeah.
It doesn't matter. They're in the barren tundra. Who cares?
Yeah, they're in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Fuck. You watched a couple of things. You want to shoot through some stuff that you did?
Yeah. Yeah. So speaking of the middle of nowhere, I took a little trip to
the Asylum.
Oh, and that's not right. All right. Yeah. Go on.
Oh shit! I don't know if it played on time.
No,
for
it
you.
did. It did. I had up Army of Darkness. I didn't think you were jumping into the Asylum so quickly. But but please do.
I'll go in order because this will be quick. So I watched Detour.
Okay. What year is this? 2003. I gotta find a thing for it.
2003. So have you ever seen The Hills Have Eyes?
I hate to say it, but no.
Oh, well, it's just that. It's teens in a camper break down in the desert, and then there are mutant cannibals.
Oh my god, Nathan. I might have watched this movie.
Detour?
I might have seen this.
Oh, shit.
Or a movie very much like it.
You might have seen The Hills Have Eyes.
No, I remember it not being that. Is there a bit where like they go to like their camp and it's like a it used to be like a little town?
No.
Oh, never mind.
No, they're
I guess it must have been another
nowhere.
Hills Have Eyes ripoff movie that was cheap.
Well, here's the thing. Here's what I found interesting. Because as soon as I was watching it, I was like, oh no, it's Hills Have Eyes. And again, we haven't officially gotten to when they've started making mockbusters. So, but I decided to look.
Right.
And the Hills Have Eyes remake didn't come out until 2006. So this is reaching back to the old one to rip that off.
If anything, they're just ahead of the curve.
It's true. It's true. But yeah, it was real bad. It was probably my least favorite so far of my sojourn through.
The Asylum.
Just because it was boring. I gave it one extra star because at the end of the credits they had a teeny tiny blooper reel, and I was like, oh, okay, well they had fun making it at least. So
Hey, there you go.
At least it's not lifeless.
I gotta get a usable image out of this like 480p screenshot.
yeah. Best. I'm glad. You see, I get to challenge you as a thumbnail creator.
Every time you watch an Asylum movie, I'm like, fuck me, dude.
Yeah.
Oh god, it's so big.
But then I went on to watch Braindead, Peter Jackson's Braindead, which I've wanted to watch for years because I have seen I've seen the bit where he runs through the crowd of zombies with a lawnmower, and I was like, this looks fucking hilarious. And it was great. I think in my mind I was kind of expecting it to be Evil Deadish, and it's really not. It is much more leaning into being a B movie, even more than Evil Dead 2. But it's a lot of fun. It's this random New Zealand guy. His mom gets infected by a mutated rat monkey that turns her into a zombie, and then she starts turning people into zombies, and he keeps capturing them, and like he has them all tied up at the dinner table, and he's like feeding them random goop, and I was like, this is not the movie I was expecting it to be. It's a lot of fun. There's zombie fucking, which I wasn't expecting.
Hey.
That led to a zombie baby.
Hey,
I was also not expecting.
I have been seeing the zombie baby a lot in my search for a good image.
It's so, when I saw it, I was like, I've seen the zombie baby. I had no idea it was from Braindead. But it's a lot of fun. It's good hammy. Lots of blood and gore. I think at one point this had the most fake blood in a movie. I think that record's been shattered now in recent history with some stuff, but
it was shattered by Markiplier's movie.
That's right.
That he's doing, yeah.
That's right.
His Iron Lung movie.
Have they announced a release date for that?
I think recently he had an update video saying he can't say anything right now, but very soon there's going to be a lot of news very fast.
Thank God.
So I think they're trying to finalize a deal. So at the moment, and I think it's probably like a sure thing, but it's not technically signed a paper. He can't say anything about it.
Yeah, NDAs and all that.
Yeah, but then as soon as it goes through, it's go time.
Perfect.
I can't wait, man. He's been working on that movie for a hot minute.
Yeah, no, I remember. What was it? Was it the teaser trailer came out last December or something like that?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So,
and I mean the game Iron Lung is really fucking dope and interesting.
Well, yeah. Again, I'm glad that it's very impressive that it inspired Markiplier to the point that was I want to make this movie, and it's wow.
It's I'm gonna do it.
That's fucking great.
I love that, man. I love that he's he has this money, he has the connections. Probably fuck it, just go crazy.
Hell yeah. Need more passionate people making films.
Yes.
I was trying to set up a segue for it, but I couldn't think of anything. Out of my 1001 movies to watch before you die, I watched La Chien, also known as The Bitch.
Karma's a bitch. Sorry.
So I had a little bit of difficulty following what was going on because this movie is French, and the subtitles that I was able to get for it were not synced up, and I don't know if they were too early or too late. So I was very thrown off. So my knowledge of the movie is based on what I was able to read about it. But even so, I didn't like it. I had seen another movie like this on the list, where it's like, I don't know, I think I'm at a disadvantage because this is from 1931, so completely different sense of humor and values and all that, and also France, completely different culture and everything like that. So I don't know if this is more funny or engaging for that particular audience. But it's kind of just this mean-spirited movie of this like really pathetic guy who has a nagging wife and is just miserable with his life, and he thinks that he's saved this woman from also an abusive spouse, and then he finds out, or I don't know if he finds out, but she's actually a prostitute, and that was her pimp, and they're just playing him for his money, and he's an amateur artist trying to get his stuff out, and she steals it and sells it, and then he eventually just becomes a vagrant, and it's like, oh, so it's a miserable experience.
Man, what a good time.
I didn't like it. 2 stars.
2 stars.
Oh,
fuck, man. Are we still in the asylum? That's a really interesting movie.
Oh shit! Yeah, they released one movie in the 30s and then nothing for like 60 years. They were just
they were just
honing their
waiting.
craft. Oh shit!
Oh god.
I don't know if I want to. Let's see. I started going through all the movies that are based on King Arthur stuff. These first few were
I can't stop
weird.
thinking about Prince Valiant.
Dude, I read the first year, and that was pretty bonkers.
I think I was watching a video about comic books the other day, and I swear to God, in one of the things showing like older comic people buying comics, I swear to God, I saw Prince Valiant, or I just wanted to see him.
He I read this from somewhere else, but he eventually makes like demon costume for himself to be in disguise. I don't know the full context, but it gets fucking ripped off as the demon Etrigan in DC. And I like looked and I was like, holy shit, he looks just fucking like him. How did you get away with this? So Prince Valiant was a big time trendsetter.
Yeah, bro.
If anything.
Who would you and this is now the Prince Valiant section.
Thank God.
Who should, if they were to do a Prince Valiant movie right now, who should play Prince Valiant?
Oh boy.
Boyd Halbrook.
There are worse choices.
There are worse choices. Oh, Timothy Chalamet.
Oh my God! I mean, fucking yeah! He would only do it if it was like the full shot-for-shot artistic Denis Villeneuve adaptation that's 25 hours long.
Dude, Denis Villeneuve presents Prince Valiant. I would have fucking. I'm gonna go insane, bro.
Listen, if I have to wait for Dune 3 for Denis Villeneuve to make 17 Prince Valiant movies, I think that's a good trade. That makes sense to me. That's
justice.
Yeah.
Danny, once you're done with Cleopatra, I got a script for you.
I have something for you. It's just a stack of old newspapers.
It's every issue of Prince Valiant. He's going on the thumbnail. I don't care.
Oh, holy shit. Yeah, no, I mean, hey, he's the prince that was promised.
This is the Prince Valiant podcast.
Yeah, so it's really weird. I was able to acquire some of Prince Valiant, but it's very spotty. I have the first like 8 years, and then it jumps from 1944 to 1953, and then 1959, 1982, and then I have 1998 through 2008.
Fuck.
And then 2018. So, once I get started on collecting the physical stuff, I'll get to it. It's it's rough.
Where do I hide Prince Valiant? Hold on.
But yeah, so these first three, I watched A Connecticut Yankee, King Arthur Was a Gentleman, and The Eternal Return. Connecticut Yankee was okay. It's based on Connecticut Yankee and King Arthur's Court by Mark Twain, I want to say. Is that right? Hold on. I don't want to seem uncultured.
Of course.
I gotta make sure. Mark Twain. Yeah, I was right. But yeah, it's real funny. It's just, this guy from the 30s lands back in Arthurian time, and it's very like it comes off as like kind of cliched and formulaic. It's that fish out of water. Oh, I've been sent back in time, and like I don't really know how that time was, but I seem more advanced than I am because I know basic things that the modern age has. It's that kind of humor, which I'm sure this was one of the first films that does it, so I can't really knock it. A lot of fun.
I love isekai.
Oh, now I really don't like it. That sucks.
I know. I just ruined it for you.
Sucks. That's okay. I think I have three more.
King Arthur Was a Gentleman sucked.
It sucks.
It looks like it sucks, dude. I'm about to like put it on the thumbnail, but like everything I'm seeing is like, this is ass.
Yeah, it's just war propaganda from 1940s Britain, where they're like, look at the ladies and the lads singing about being in the military, driving around in the tanks. And it's like, oh, this sucks. And the guy's name is Arthur King, and they trick him into thinking he's found Excalibur because he's a little diminutive doofus.
He looks like he inappropriately touches women.
Probably does. It was the times. So that sucked. I watched The Eternal Return, which was a French adaptation of Tristan and Isolde.
I am French.
I prefer the James Franco film myself. I think that says it all.
What the fuck did you just say to me?
You've never seen James Franco's Tristan and Isolde, 2006?
What?
Oh yeah, man, it's great.
I don't fucking trust you right now.
Listen.
You already tried to bamboozle me with Nosferatu.
Hey, I've never led you astray. I never lie to you. I have had and probably will have this marathon before, where it's the Roman medieval Arthur trilogy, where you watch Last Legion, King Arthur 2004, and Tristan and Isolde.
Oh my god, what the fuck is this? Henry Cavill, what the fuck? Rufus Sewell?
Oh fuck, I forgot Henry Cavill's in it, and yeah, Rufus Sewell.
Okay, we have to watch this.
Oh, it's so good.
We have to.
I don't know. I see. So I'm also reading through Le Morte d'Arthur, and I'm not seeing any reference of the Knights of the Round Table being stoned as balls. So that might have been a creative direction that James Franco.
They're also not mentioning Siri at all, so it's probably not accurate.
That's a good point. I forget because I know that Excalibur is in Last Legion, so I'll have to see if they call her Siri, then that's a real G. I have to. And then I
have to show the audience Henry Cavill. I'm trying to get this working.
Oh no, that's important.
Oh yeah, look at that. Oh yeah.
And then Katie and I are doing a 1 or 2 horror Halloween movies a day for the month. We got our wheel of names that we just spin and pick at random. So I got to watch The Exorcist again, which is a fucking masterpiece. I am interested in seeing the sequels, but I'm also scared. We'll see. I finally saw Happy Death Day 2U.
Yes, dude.
Which I was I'm so glad it didn't suck. because like I don't know what it is. I like because the first Happy Death Day just really weirdly resonates with me. You know, where
It's
I'm
a
like,
good movie, man.
yeah, where I'm like, I know this isn't a masterpiece, but like I don't know, this just feels special to me. And so the sequel coming out and like pretty quick after, like I think it was the next
so
year.
fast, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, this scares me. But yeah, I liked it. I don't have a.
It's way more of a
desire to
sci-fi
watch it.
movie.
It is. I was very surprised at how well it was able to transition, because it's really not even horror after like once you get to the twist, it's like, oh, this is what we're doing now.
Yeah, no, it's kind of funny. I think Tree goes on like a similar journey as Ash Williams does, where she starts to be like, actually, I'm good at this. Hold on.
Yeah, for sure.
Or first it's like, oh, I hate this. This is terrible. My life sucks. And eventually she's like, you know what? This is actually the thing I'm good at.
Got it. But the thing is, I kind of feel like once it gets to what the message of the movie is, it is kind of just a repeat of the first one. Not in like a ripping it off lazy sequel way, but just sort of like it's like they wanted to really solidify her choice, you know, because the first movie is all about, okay, I'm overcoming grief and I'm accepting that like I have to move forward with my life and everything, and then this movie kind of just introduces that conflict again, just less vague, I guess, like much more direct. And I was kind of like, oh, well, you kind of already made this choice. And they even pointed out that it's like, you've kind of moved on from this. So I was kind of just like, when it got to the end. And she was like, no, I do stick with it. And it's like, oh, okay, all right, well, that's cool.
I want to watch the third film where they just torture the one girl.
Oh god, that was the other thing when she was like, "I have the perfect candidate for this," and I'm like, "Why? Because she's kind of a bitch."
Yeah, bro, that shit's hilarious.
Evil.
Let's go.
God damn,
I have to rewatch this. I think actually, they're playing Happy Death Day in theaters for like a day. I think this month, so I might go check it in theaters again.
Ah, that'd be dope.
That shit was. I love these movies. They're pretty fun. I like how the second one takes itself less seriously and is more like, let's have fun with this idea.
Yeah, for sure. I was a little bit confused with her deciding to be creative with how she kills herself. Spoilers.
Oh my god.
But because I was like, wait, but the damage kind of carries over, so don't you want it to be at least a little bit gentle? But she's doing crazy shit.
Yeah, when she does like the skydiving. Oh my god.
Oh my Christ! Yeah,
it's so fucking funny, man.
Yeah,
that's such good shit.
I'm so glad. I'm glad that I feel like the trailer misdirects you, and it makes you think that it's just going to be the first movie, but with the roommate, and like it started that way. Like when his day starts and a bunch of like very distinct stuff happens, I'm like, oh no, we're setting up that he's going to notice weird shit when he loops. And they do it like once or twice, and then it switches, and it's like, okay, all right.
Yeah, I think it deserves a third movie.
I mean, they're working for DARPA now. So.
Yeah, bro. And do you remember when the actress who plays Tree was the most interesting character in US Utopia, and then they killed her in like 3 seconds?
Man, this movie made me look her up again to be like, because you know, I'm like, oh, she's really good. What else has she done? And I always see that, and I'm like, fuck.
I was like, no, why were you?
But she's also the co-star in Boy Kills World, which I still need to see. So, you know, I'm curious about.
Oh yeah,
that.
I've seen that around. Jessica Roth.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Boy Kills World. One of the many attempts at making Bill Skarsgård like an action star that have not worked.
Baffling to me. I think people just got tired of waiting to see if Alexander Skarsgård was ever going to act, and they were like, well, maybe we know that Bill can, so let's see if he can do action.
Yeah. And then he was like, I'll act, but just for Robert Eggers.
Hey man, that's a good standard to go by, you know.
He knows how to hold it, you know.
Although then he did the Crow, so I don't know. I don't know what the thought process was there. But then he started shitting on it before it came out, so
Bill?
Yeah.
What a homie. He knows.
Yeah, he was like, why did they make me get jacked as fuck for this movie? Like, I was just supposed to be a regular guy. I kind of hate that. I'm like,
that's
oh, man,
fucking hilarious.
I'm sorry, Bill.
I can't believe Ryan from The Boys is in Boy Kills World. That's awesome.
Ryan.
Homelander's son.
Oh, okay. That's right. I didn't watch season 4 because I didn't like season 3 or most of 2.
My season 4 watch through is paused. The husband went on a away trip and it sort of got lost in the shuffle, and now we're back to watching Kamen Rider Fies.
Hey man, you gotta make priorities.
It's okay. I'll probably wait till Gen V2 comes out, then I'll get caught back up again.
There you go.
So now that you've rewatched The Exorcist, how do you feel about? How excited are you for a Mike Flanagan Exorcist movie?
Is his remake? Is it reboot, sequel, prequel?
Yeah, so last year The Exorcist Believer came out, and
right.
the few people who saw it did not like it.
Yeah.
That was David Gordon Green, who had just finished doing his Halloween trilogy.
Oh yeah.
Also known for, Your Highness, which I thought was the joke you were gonna make with James Franco, and then you actually had an actual James Franco movie that was King Arthur. So I was very surprised. I was like, I was sitting here thinking, like, is he gonna fucking say like Your Highness or something? And then you actually had a movie. But
yeah, man.
Yeah, he did the Halloween trilogy, which is depending on who you ask, either like a masterpiece or dog shit. The third one sounds interesting, but yeah, Exorcist Believer tanked horribly. And so Blumhouse instantly hit the break glass in case of emergency button and dropped the bag for Mike Flanagan. And I think it's gonna be. He says it's gonna be a radical new take on The Exorcist. He's not saying a whole lot about it though. I think it's gonna be a full-on reboot, which I think it should be. Though, given Mike Flanagan, if you wanted to be a sequel or in the same world as Exorcists 1 and 3, he could probably pull it off just fine. But also, like, I know Exorcist Believer, I mean, kind of like fucked with a lot of the stuff from the OG. So it makes sense to have him do a new take on the first one, or do a whole new thing.
Yeah, see, I don't know, because I feel like this latest watch through of the OG really like solidified it for me that it's like the best exorcism film that you can do. And I'm kind of like, I don't know if I need to see anymore.
You've seen 3 before, right?
No, I've only seen I've seen the first one, and I saw like the first half hour of the second one.
Okay, well, obviously skip 2 unless you want to have a fun time making fun of it.
I've heard it's terrible. But
Exorcist 3 is so good.
Well, because I was looking, and it's a completely different writer-director team for 2. And then I think 3 is the writer for the first one is now also directing. So I'm very curious.
The director is the guy who wrote the Exorcist books.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was like, leave it to me, kids. Get the fuck out of here.
I like it.
And I feel like, for me, Exorcist 3 is very much kind of what probably at a young age inspired Mike Flanagan to do horror the way he does horror.
Okay.
Like, it's very cerebral, very much like dealing with faith and like characters, and it has an amazing scare in the movie. It has a fucking outstanding jump scare, which I feel like Mike Flanagan likes to do sometimes. It has Brad Dourif. I mean, come on.
Hey, that's always good.
Listen, that's all you need to know. It has Brad Dourif in it. It's now it's now worth the watch.
What about Exorcist: The Beginning?
Which one?
What about Dominion prequel to The Exorcist?
You should watch The Pope's Exorcist, though.
Is that the part of the Kurt Russell or no, I'm sorry, Russell Crowe trilogy?
The unofficial, not connected Russell Crowe in Italy exorcism movies. Yes.
I
Man,
don't know what
I love it, dude.
That was.
I love it. Okay, so like I feel like I think it's the 2020s equivalent of, remember when Liam Neeson just kept doing Taken movies that just weren't taken? Yeah, I think he just found the thing he likes to do.
See, I was gonna say it reminds me of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood when Leo goes over to Italy to make a bunch of spaghetti westerns. And so it's just Russell Crowe being like, "Oh, I'm just having a vacation in Italy," and they want to keep making these exorcism movies. So fuck it.
I think so. I know that for The Pope's Exorcist, he literally was like, "I love this Vespa so much. I love Vespas in Italy. I want to have the Vespa in the movie." So they made his character, the Pope's Exorcist, have a Vespa because he liked writing it so much.
I love that Russell Crowe is at that, just like, fuck it, I just want to do this in movies.
It's dude, it's so fucking funny, man.
I forget, is it him in Thor 4 that has a cameo?
Yeah, I did not watch Thor 4 because I value my time. But yeah, I know he plays like a fat Zeus, and he seems like he's having like the time of his life.
Yeah, because I remember seeing I remember seeing part of an article with him where he's like he's basically shitting on the MCU and actors in the MCU because he's like, "Oh, what? You're dissatisfied because this wasn't a fulfilling project? This is a dumb comic movie, you fucking nerds." And it's like, god damn.
Like, he fully knows what the project is and what he's doing, and I love that for him.
He's like, "Hey, listen, they gave me a big old bag of money. I got to sit around in my Zeus robe. Fuck it, I don't give a shit."
Yeah, bro. Why should you care, man?
I wish he had brought a little bit of that energy to Jor-El and Man of Steel, just so it could have been more like Marlon Brando. But hey, he realized it too late.
Yeah, he wasn't there yet.
No. He was like, "Oh, this is art."
Like, oh, this could be a good movie. Michael Shannon's here.
Yeah, exactly.
He wouldn't sign up for.
Oh shit. And then he saw Amy Adams, and he was like, this is more hit and miss now. I'm not sure.
Hey, Kevin Costner's in this. He's done like The Patriot. No, that's Mel Gibson. Right? Shit, sorry.
He did Field of Dreams.
Yes, there we go.
He did The Postman.
I don't know why Mel Gibson and Kevin Costner are like two sides of the same coin to me.
Listen, I understand it. It's like Dennis Leary and Kevin Bacon.
Oh my god, yeah, you're so right.
There's a little, there's a little something there.
It's a little crossover there for you. But I'm excited for Mike Flanagan's The Exorcist.
Yeah, I think I think I talked about it in the chat of wanting to do director retrospectives. I feel like I need to do one for Mike Flanagan.
Bro, he has. I think I have seen every one of his features. Let me double check real quick, but I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure you have.
Listen. Hey,
and shows and shorts.
And everything. I don't think I've watched his. I can't watch his student films, unfortunately. But
well, once you got to slide into those DMs, be like, "Hey."
I do, man. I gotta tell you, like when I met him and his wife Kate Siegel, I was like, even just for a moment, it was beautiful. For a brief moment, it was great. I didn't get to talk to Mike, but Kate was fantastic.
That's great.
I've seen all of his features. Yes, I've seen everything. I am the aficionado of Mike Flanagan.
Well done, you.
Oh, well done. I just hold on for a second. I was like, oh shit, what happened?
No.
I'm excited for his next movie, The Life of Chuck. Life
of Chuck.
It's based on a Stephen King novella, but it's not a horror.
Oh.
It's like just looking at this guy's Chuck's like life. And apparently it was like all self-funded. He did it during the strikes.
Oh, yeah.
It's got a banging cast. Tom Hiddleston, Mark Hamill, Matthew Lillard, David Duchamelian, Rahul Kohli, obviously, Kate Siegel, obviously, the typicals, but Chitwell Ejiofor, Karen Gillian, Heather Langenkamp. And it's gonna be his first like not horror movie.
Interesting. It's always interesting when they kind of step out of the genre that they're known for.
Exactly.
I'm trying to think of directors with like diverse filmography, but I guess really a lot of them kind of stay in a similar lane.
Unfortunately, a lot of the times when the director has like a diverse filmography, it's like really interesting movies, like in like a certain genre, like horror or like drama, and then all of a sudden it's like superhero movie.
Well, yes, yeah.
That's often when you see the.
Because it's it's Disney going, hey, here's a on the rise filmmaker that we can give a bag of money to, and then let him know that he has to follow all of our guidelines, and he'll do it because he hasn't fully made a name for himself yet.
Yep, get him. I know the guy who is behind the Shazam movies, who started with horror. He did Lights Out.
That's right.
He did really good horror movies, and they did the 2 Shazam films. I think after Shazam 2, he was like, I had a lot of fun, met a lot of good people. I am never doing this ever again. I'm sticking to indie films and horror films for the rest of my career.
I see. I love that is, I love that is being the public experience more and more. Like, I know it's futile, but I envision in like 10 years or so that we don't get a superhero movie every year or even every 2 years.
I don't know, man. I wish you're right. I know you're wrong, though, but I wish you were right. Yeah, dude.
Listen, if they get down to Disney Plus exclusives, not theatrical, I'll take it as a win.
Yeah, a Disney Plus presentation.
Yeah, exactly.
It is like, funny how
this is still a big deal, right?
It is funny how Thunderbolts is the Disney Plus movie.
Yeah, that like I don't know what's going on there.
I'm excited for it actually. I feel really bad every time I watch the trailer. I get excited. I'm like I feel like an asshole.
See, I still haven't watched the trailer. So every time you bring up Thunderbolts, I'm like, I'm kind of an asshole because you shared the trailer and I just didn't watch.
I shared it seeing who would take the bite. I didn't expect anybody to actually do it, of course, because I know you all loathe cape shit, which is a good gut reaction to have. I of course take everything with a grain of salt, and I will try everything. Unfortunately.
Hey, listen, I watched The Crow this year.
Man, you did watch the fucking Crow.
I watched the first half of Hellboy: The Crooked Man. So stay tuned.
Oh, really? Okay, I have to. I
didn't have enough time for it all today, but
that's right, The Crooked Man. I might try to convince Sean to watch that with me tonight.
There you go. Yeah, because I think Joe said he's watching tonight. He did very kindly offer to make it Thursday, but I don't think Katie was interested. So I was like, we'll stick with our fun. Who knows what we're gonna watch approach.
I can only buy it. I can't rent it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen,
it's to support indie films.
Support indie films, man.
Support indie films. I'll
It technically bombed at the box office because it didn't really have a box office.
I saw someone on Twitter the other a few weeks ago being like, I just saw The Crooked Man in theaters, and I'm like, where are you from? And they're like, England, and I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah, the fucking, not even a limited theatrical release, man. Like there's dumb little rinky-dink art house theaters in the area that I would track down to go see The Crooked Man. You're telling me you're going straight to VOD? Fuck.
That's just ass, man.
Come on.
Sorry, everyone. I'm trying to find The Crooked Man again. There it is.
But yeah, it's very. I saw an interview, or I read an interview with the director where he talked about how he was approaching this movie as if he was adapting a Stephen King novel, and that stuck in my mind because I was like, I think I know what you mean, but I'm not 100%.
That almost scares me.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Like, what do you mean by that?
Yeah. Do you mean that like? Do you mean that like the Shining miniseries where it's loyal to a fault, or do you mean that like Mike Flanagan where it's like, I'm gonna keep the spirit of this, but I'm gonna make changes where I need to?
Please be Mike Flanagan, please.
Please, God.
It's not.
I wish he worked a little bit more of that magic with Gerald's Game, but hey, it's
I still love it.
That ending.
I still love it.
It's still great. It's that last like 10 minutes where it's like, oh no, this is Stephen King.
Yeah. Sorry, I still like Gerald's Game ending.
All right, that's fair. I think it's just a hat on a hat,
On a hat.
Or on a hat.
I can't take the Benadryl. I have to open it to the hat, man. Anyway, so I watched some shows. I have some things to talk about regarding TV shows, unfortunately. I feel really bad about this. So first off, The Penguin, episode 3. Still fantastic, still moving strong.
Okay, good. When you said you feel bad, I was like, oh no, is this where the other shoe drops? And it's like, oh, episode 3 sucked.
No, The Penguin, fantastic. Love it. Love you, Penguin. I love Penguin Sopranos. Very funny week for Batman, where the two things that come out are from his villains.
Yeah, well, they're finally taking that Spumsy approach, where it's like, let's get the Rogues Gallery.
But they've been doing this with Batman for like ever.
Well, yeah.
Like, oh, let's do now. Gotham, let's do Titans, let's do Arkham, whatever, let's do Gotham PD.
That's a good point.
Listen, and like I like some of this, but when's the last time we've had a live action Batman show? 1963.
Yeah, probably.
Wow, my cats are hating me right now. So yeah, no, it's good. It's moving great. It's a great show. There's not much to talk about other than it's still good. Joe posted a funny video. I didn't watch it, but someone's like, The Penguin is already a masterpiece, and I'm like, well, it can't be a masterpiece. It's not done yet. You can't call it that. It could suck. It'd be like saying Uzumaki is a masterpiece after watching the first episode, and it's like, yeah, if the quality keeps up.
Would you say that is the first episode of Penguin like the first episode of Westworld, where it's like, oh, that's a masterpiece, that's a movie if it wants to be?
No,
it's very clearly this is episode 1.
Yes.
Okay,
it's a good first episode. It sets up a lot of stuff.
Oh, sure.
But it's not like it's not like Westworld or Breaking Bad, where it's like if this was the only thing that survived the fire, we'd be fine.
Yeah.
It definitely is like we have a bigger story to tell.
Okay.
But yeah, I also watched episode 2 of Uzumaki. Episode 1 was like phenomenal. It was well paced. It was well animated. I loved it. Episode 2. Well, episode 2 is interesting.
Uh-oh.
It's God, how do I put this?
Help me. Oh no.
Episode 2 was terrible.
Damn.
The animation was atrocious.
Oh shit.
An almost immediate, very clear drop in quality.
Damn.
There was bits where like textures are overlapping and going off into the next thing where it shouldn't be textured. It's very clearly using a bunch of 3D models for scenes.
Ooh.
It's God, some stiff animation. There's some scenes of people running where they're clearly, it's just a loop of them step, and then we're like sizing it to move it in the direction they have to go.
Oh no.
And they're like cramming like 5 different chapters into one episode, whereas episode 1 was like 2 different chapters.
Yeah, I was gonna say like 3 at the most is like good pacing in general.
Yeah, so it was I don't know if I'm gonna keep watching.
Damn, that bad.
It's that bad. I did some looking. I might keep watching it because I know the husband wants to, because he's invested. I might keep going out of morbid curiosity. Because there's only 2 episodes left.
Oh yeah, because it's gonna be short.
It's 4 episodes.
At least it's not a huge time constraint.
But that's what makes the awful animation so much funnier.
Yeah, that's quite baffling.
So apparently what happened was episode 1 was done by a different studio from the other 3 episodes.
Oh no.
Episode 1 happened. And then I think the bigwigs were like, wait, how long did that take? How much money? How does it look? No, fired, new studio.
I got a guy that can do it cheaper.
I got a guy that can do it cheaper. And then that guy went to 7 other guys and said, you guys can do this cheaper.
Oh,
so
no.
It was like double outsourced.
Oh, that sucks.
So it's awful. Everyone should look up clips of episode 2 of Uzumaki. It's hilariously bad.
That reminds me of when I finally got around to watching season 2 of Attack on Titan when it finally came out. Because I don't know how much of Attack on Titan you've seen or know.
Season 1, he has to like move a boulder, and I was like, I'm good.
Because you remember, I mean, you got to remember that first episode where it's like the colossal Titan, and it's like, holy shit,
yeah.
I'm gonna shit my pants. You know, he shows up in season 2, and he's the stiffest CGI model I think I've ever seen in anime, and I was like, oh no, how did you ruin it immediately?
That's incredible.
That had so many, like that has the iconic shots from season 1. Like everyone remembers how good that colossal Titan destroying the wall looked like. And so to get to season 2, and it's like, oh no, you could probably run this on a Dreamcast. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's like that, but if it immediately happened.
Oh, god damn.
Like, we have, like, it literally was last week, guys. I know how it looked last week. This is wrong. Apparently, a producer on the show, an executive, says that they were screwed over during production. And their options were apparently A, not finish it, air nothing, and call it a loss. B, just finish episode 1 and leave it incomplete. Or C, run all 4 episodes, warts and all.
It sounds like it should have just been episode 1.
Yeah. Like you do an OVA every 2 years when you have the time and money to make it.
There you go. Bring back the OVAs. OVAs are great, man. There's no commitment. You know, you just drop it whenever you can.
Exactly.
It's funny. I'm rewatching through Death Note now, which has been fucking great. And I'm looking at all the other Death Note stuff because I know there's other, you know, like series and movies and things that I'm very curious about, because I know that there's 2 live action Death Note movies that adapt basically the main story, with some, obviously they got to do some stuff that I did watch. And then there's a spin-off movie that's what is it? L Change the World, where it's just L doing a different investigation that I need to see.
Yes.
But apparently there's a 3-episode, all of this is live action. There's a 3-episode miniseries that leads into what is it? Light Up the New World, which is a sequel movie that takes place 10 years later. And that, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, you don't have any manga to work off of? Like, I'm very curious. But the thing that was really fun, this is why I thought of it, because you talked about the producer and their options and everything. So we talked about Adam Wingard earlier.
Yes.
And you might recall that there's there's an Adam Wingard Death Note movie.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah. Did you ever watch it?
I did. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
all
yeah.
right. So if you have somehow heard of this movie, but and haven't somehow heard this part, it fucking sucks. It's the worst piece of dog shit I've ever seen.
Light Turner. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, and you know what sucks? I forgot that. I forgot that their L was Lakeith Stanfield.
Yes, dude.
And I'm like, damn it! If you had actually tried, that actually could have been good. But but I was looking at news because they were talking about the sequel, and so obviously there's the news immediately after, and the news some years later, and yada yada yada, and the latest news was I think towards the end of 2012, where it was one of the producers saying that the fan criticism and backlash would be taken into account to improve the sequel. And I'm like, well, here's the fan criticism. Your adaptation is dog shit. So what are you gonna do in Death Note 2 to fix that? And so I was talking to Joe about it, and I was like, if in like the next year or two they officially announce that the project is canceled, then that producer is gonna seem pretty based for that comment.
Yeah, where they were like, never mind, we can't do anything actually about this.
Listen, yeah, I know, it's shit. We're done.
Oh my god, and that second live action American, like a sequel to but doesn't Light die at the end?
No, I think I forget if her name is still Misa, but I think Misa dies.
I bet it's like Michaela or something. Hold on, I'm on this.
Probably like that,
Death
please.
Note.
The girl who went on to be in a fucking Tarantino film.
Mia,
that's right.
oh my god, Margaret Qualley, she's in The Substance.
Oh shit, was she?
Yeah, she's like the substanced one.
Oh, cool. I just remember her as the girl from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So
kind of has a based cast when you look at it. It's funny because Keith Stanfield, fantastic. Margaret Qualley, really good. Willem Dafoe is Ryuk, perfect. It has Shea Wingham. Shea Wingham is always good in everything he's in.
I don't know who that is.
He's like a character actor.
Oh, okay.
He was in Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Okay.
He's the agent who's following Ethan Hunt the whole movie.
I still haven't seen that one. So
if you saw his Facebook, that guy is in stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but if for one thing, if you had cast Light correctly, that goes a long way.
Because I will say this: if you just saw Death Note, I understand why you'd say that Nat Wolff was a bad actor, but he's good in things. Just not Light Turner.
I mean, listen, the girl was real good in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So hey, maybe that's just down to script and direction. I don't know. Lakeith Stanfield is very good in pretty much everything else I've seen him in. So, you know,
What happened?
like, what the fuck happened?
I don't know. It's really weird.
I'm like, to this day, I still don't know if they deliberately meant to make it a comedy or if they I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking.
I don't know either. I kind of want to rewatch it just to make sure like I got that right the first time.
Yeah, because I remember originally, maybe this might be a faulty, acid trip memory, but it originally wasn't going to be Shane Black making the Death Note movie.
I don't know, man.
I feel like it was. So maybe that had maybe that was his fingerprints, finger fucking it to death.
God.
I don't know why.
It was good. Oh, I'm thinking of his brother Alex Wolf. Never mind.
Is Nat Wolf in fact not good?
Nat Wolf is, I think, the lesser. I combine them into the same person in my head. Because I'm like, yeah, he's good. He's in Pig. He's in Oppenheimer. He's in Quiet Place Day One. He's in Hereditary. And then I looked and I'm like, oh, the other one.
Does Alex Wolf at least have a stronger chin, or are they both pretty weak chinned?
They're about the same.
Damn.
I think they might be twins, or just legit brothers.
Okay.
No, Nat Wolf went on to be in. She was in Justice League X Ruby, Superheroes and Huntsman Part 1, along with MJF.
Still haven't seen that. Okay. Shit! Speaking of MJF, have you heard of the film project that he's working on?
I also feel bad that we recorded our podcast the exact same time Dynamite was airing in our state.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. I didn't think about this. Title Tuesday.
It's Title Tuesday, man.
That's right. That's right.
And they're in Spokane.
Oh wow, that's funny.
But I literally was like, "Oh, you guys are airing on a Tuesday? Fuck you."
Yeah, no. You deserve the drop in viewership. How fucking dare?
Yeah, how fucking dare you, man? Yeah, he's in what was it? Happy Gilmore 2?
That's right. Yeah, apparently I've heard from somewhere that he's playing one of Adam Sandler's sons. So, it sounds like a meatier role than he had in Iron Claw. So, that's something.
The hype for him in Iron Claw, and then he's literally there for like 0.5 seconds, is pretty funny.
That's pretty hilarious. I'm curious if there's deleted scene. I know that he shot more, but I'm curious if it's available as deleted scenes.
Yeah,
I'd be curious because apparently to my understanding, he played quote unquote one of the Von Erichs, but not really one that was actually in the family. I think he played a wrestler who in wrestling storyline was a Von Erich. I think
you're implying that he had like any amount of like screen time or lines enough to establish that he was even a character.
Listen, I just read the cast list deal.
That's fair.
Because I saw his interview about it where he was like, oh yeah, we had filmed some of these scenes and I remember talking with him about why it wasn't being used, and I was like, yeah, I get it, he wasn't really a Von Erich, and I was like, oh shit.
They also cut one of the actual Von Erichs, so it makes sense.
That does make sense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy he's doing more. I mean, the have a small AEW talk, but like they've been, the AEW crew has been doing some more and more like cross media stuff. Like MJF's in more movies, he's getting cast in more things. Samoa Joe is in like a decent amount of stuff too. Like he's Twisted Metal, but also he's in Deadlock as Abrams, who's kind of like the poster child character of the game, I'd say.
Okay.
He's also in the new Yakuza Like a Dragon game, as like he's it's like his face and the voice is in the game.
Perfect.
I think other people got cast for stuff too that are in AEW.
But
yeah, they're They're doing it. I forget who it was. It was someone. AEW wrestler gets cast. Let me just try to look that up on Google and see what happens. It's all gonna be about Adam Sandler.
I'm just saying. If it had been Darby Allin instead of Bill Skarsgård in The Crow, it would have been like 10% better.
It should have been. It really should have been. I'm not sure why they.
Listen, we missed the boat on Sting. It's all right. It's okay. It was too easy.
It was too easy.
Well, see, you could have played that in the end credits and be like, oh, fuck yeah.
That would have been very hype.
That would have been so hype. I want to see Darby Allin Crowe.
We should have gotten that.
He'd be able to get away with not having the long hair.
Wait, was the Crow Warner Brothers?
Yeah.
Oh, boo, it's even worse.
They are burning through a lot of goodwill.
No, it's Lionsgate. I'm not sure if they're a subsidiary or not. Who
I think
owns Lionsgate?
Probably Warner Media.
God, there's so many levels to this. Universal? No, wait, no, that's wrong. There's so many. What route?
Plans within plans.
But yeah, also I know AEW recently last Dynamite, because I obviously didn't watch the newest one because I'm here. They signed the new deal with Warner Brothers. They got a whole bunch of money, a whole bunch more stuff, and they had a thing where they're like, hey, go to the comic shops now and get DC comics, and there's like AEW mini comics and the comic issues.
Oh.
And they fucking advertised buying DC comics. I was like, whoa. We're having cross brand.
That's interesting. I meant to since we're on the topic, because I forget. So do you have a Max subscription already, or?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Because what do you think about their new setup? Because from what I heard, Max is getting the library, and later in the year you can get the pay-per-views at a discounted rate.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious to what extent that's going to look like, because if it's like half off, it's like, okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But if it's like, it's 40 instead of 50, it's like, but then I'll also paying, what is it, 10, 15 a month for Max?
Yeah, that's fine.
Which, hey, in our case is the case of like, hey, at least I don't have to be subscribed to Sling anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling, man. So I've seen a lot of people be upset online, and of course it's about wrestling, so of course they're upset online about something. But,
of course.
The way I see it is people are like a bit upset that, AEW, if you don't know, is going to the wrestling company that's kind of the alternative to WWE, is going to Max, in addition to being live on cable.
Yeah.
And then WWE is going to Netflix in the same month, I think. They're both going in January.
Yeah, that's right.
So, then there's the monthly pay-per-view events that wrestling has. And people are upset that you still have to spend money on the pay-per-views. My logic as to why I'm not even remotely perturbed about this in any sense whatsoever is because I already pay extra for pay-per-views in addition to like spending money to get access to the show in the first place. For me, I'm actually saving money in the long run because people are acting like, oh, but like there's like what do I save here? And it's like, I don't know, man, you already do this though. You already pay for cable and then you have to pay per view for the pay-per-view. Like all that's happening now is that it airs in a new way that is more I guess like ergonomic and accessible to the modern fan and the demographic that they're trying to hit. But it's still the same shit. You're still watching it live every Wednesday. The pay-per-view has to be purchased to pay per view it. If anything, for me, I get to just cut cable. Like I'm gonna save like $40 a month now. Like Sling's days are fucking numbered.
That's true.
But I guess some people, then the argument is like, well, what if you have cable because you like having cable? First of all, you're weird. But let's
true.
say you do like having cable. What's wrong with you? And then you don't have Max. Well, then I don't know, man. Like, you still can probably buy the pay-per-views off of like Fight and YouTube and the Zone and whatever. All that changes for other people who have Max or who want to get Max is that's going to be easier to get, and they'll probably fucking stream in HD for once.
It's fair. I think that, like, I get it. Like, I wouldn't say that the move is entirely pro-consumer because, you know, what are we? We're up to like 9 pay-per-views a month, probably going to be closing in on 12, and they're and they're $50. Like, that, it's an expensive hobby. Like, I dropped out of it because I was like, this doesn't, like, I don't feel like I'm getting as big a return on my investment as when I was like super invested in AEW. So I think that's where a lot of the disappointment comes from, because it's like, I don't want to shell out $50 to $60 every month for this. So
it is a lot. And of course, like, they're gonna offer some sort of deal, I think, which is good.
Yeah.
Half off would be great. Like, for 9 months out of the year, I pay an extra $25 to watch a 6-hour, 7-hour big epic show. Okay.
Yeah, that's reasonable. That's reasonable. Especially if you already have Max. Like, that's who it's ideal for.
And that's, I guess, the savings you get from Max.
Yeah.
I think AEW is going to do 9 a year, with the other 3 months being for ROH.
Oh yeah, you're right. I was about to say for Battle of the Belts.
No, what?
But yeah, and to be fair, I don't think this has been announced, but I keep hearing this rumor that that WWE, for their major pay-per-views, are going to be taking the UFC model, where those become pay-per-views again. I don't know if they're actually going to try that, because right now it's all just, oh yeah, Peacock, you got it all.
Yeah,
but I've heard that like WrestleMania and like the Royal Rumble and shit like that could start becoming like a ESPN Plus pay-per-view type of thing.
If they present it right, that makes sense to charge more for a bigger event. Like, let's say you have, like, I don't know, like fucking like Extreme Rules. I'm not up to date on what the current ones are called, so don't correct me. But yeah, those can just be like on Netflix for the same price as your subscription service. But like, if you want to watch the 2-night WrestleMania,
because SummerSlam is going to 2 nights next year.
Jesus.
I would assume that they'll do that for their big 4. We'll see.
Which
that
makes
could be
sense.
nice.
Yeah, that
could be nice for like the Royal Rumble. I don't see why you would do that for Survivor Series, because that's kind of just that's the ugly duckling of the big 4, I would say. But hey,
it doesn't really mean anything, but okay.
Yeah,
because we never keep the brand split, so it's like
exactly. Back when they had the brand split, it was like, aha.
Like, I'm sure at first that was perfect, and then wild card.
Oh shit! I'm a free agent. What? Oh shit!
I'm a free agent that can go to either roster in WWE. What?
Oh, okay. All right.
You keep saying that word, but I don't think it means what you think it means.
Listen, when it's Brock Lesnar, it's like, okay, all right, that's fine. It's the Beast Incarnate. You can go wherever you want. I get it. But I forget who else was. I think like
Corbin?
yes, I think he was one. Yeah. And that's what it feels more like. Oh, so neither side bothered to draft you this year.
Yes. Oops. It's less like you're dangerous, we don't want you, and more like, oh, we don't want you.
Yeah, it's like, you take him. No, you take him.
Oh my god. And then hopefully, I think I've heard rumors of canceling Rampage, and I'm like, thank God.
Well, I've heard rumors of them canceling Rampage, but then starting this new Shockwave show.
Fuck me, man.
Possibly on Fox. So
that I'm sure we'll have a great first 5 episodes, and then we'll slowly just become Rampage again.
Yeah, probably.
Because listen, I trust them to have a good like first month showing of being excited about it, but then it's gonna turn into
absolutely.
and here comes Brian Cage to drop some guy.
Yeah.
So he can have a match on Wednesday.
Yeah, here comes Serpentico versus Hologram. It's like, oh boy.
That's not hype though. It's more like, oh, here comes Angelico versus Will Ospreay, and you're like, technically this is probably going to be like good, but man, we all know where this is going.
Yeah,
they haven't pulled an action Andretti pins Jericho in a hot minute.
Give it to Hologram.
Give it to Hologram, bro. He's on a good streak right now.
I'm curious if and when Tony's gonna let him get pinned, because I know that's a TK original. So
that's their first OG.
That's pretty wackadoodle.
I just saw, because I was on Twitter looking at stuff to talk about, but then I realized we've gone over where I wanted to go. Daniel Garcia resigned. Thank God.
Oh, I heard he was up in the air for quite a little bit.
A long time, man.
Yeah, he got like written off and then came back because it seemed like he was gonna sign, and then he didn't.
Roberts is Rush's new manager. I have to watch Dynamite. This sounds fantastic. Jake Roberts is still around. That's incredible.
Where's Lance Arch? I guess he's over in
the Righteous.
Oh man, I love the Righteous.
I love the Righteous, and then they show up and they get pinned, and I'm like, man, I wish I could love the Righteous more.
Man, again, like, this is when I was on my way out with AEW, but the Righteous AEW debut was like one of the best slow burn builds for a tag team. Like, it felt like an NXT call up.
And then
because they had their vignettes, they beat the Hardys, and it was like, oh shit!
It was so good until it was ass.
Yeah, and then it was like, but now we have Lance Archer, and we still lost, and it's like, oh.
Yeah, I'll admit I didn't watch the new Collision and Rampage.
What?
I know. Well, also because like Title Tuesday, it threw me off, and then I watched 3 movies this weekend.
That's true.
I didn't expect to go see Look Back. It kind of just happened. and then I watched Joker Baby, and I was like, oh, well, I guess this is my day.
Yeah,
all right, gang.
You played yourself.
I'm gonna call it. I'm in pain. I'm in tremendous pain. Help me. I want to die. Help me.
Come me, end my suffering.
Thank you all. Yeah, I took a shower before this, and the pain went away for a while, but I think it's now starting to.
Are you telling me 2 hours of sitting hunched over a mic isn't good for aches and pains?
Yeah.
Shit.
I wanted to talk about Halo, but I might wait for next week, maybe when Joe's here, if he is.
Hope he is. Joe, if you're listening,
Joe,
come on the show, you fuck.
I saved Halo for you.
That's right.
The Halo news.
I saved the Crooked Man to, one, not spoil Sal, but also to discuss it with you. So
there we go. I might try to convince to watch the Crooked Man. Hi. Oh, my cats are all like feed me right now. All right. I've been Sal.
I've been Nathan.
This has been the Shuttle
Cast.